is in two parts. And the first testimony, I got it from my mother. And I've always recalled that testimony ever since I was born. When I was born, that night I was born, my father was still a drunkard. And he had to beat my mother bitterly. And that night, at 3:00 hours, it was when mother failed to give birth to me. And nobody could help her go to hospital. So she walked alone, a distance of 10 kilometers to hospital. And she delivered on the way, just at the middle of the night. When I was born 3 days later, just like mamas do, 3 women came to see the baby. And when they came, mother was to prepare some breakfast for them. And he left me with them. When she came back after breakfast and they had left, mothers are good. So she was to check on the baby. She realized that the umbilical cord was disappearing. And she followed them up, the 3 women. And mother had a panga. And she told them, unless you give it out, it is not ending well with you. They looked at each other. And it was like they had not done anything. But one of the women said, no, it is you who did it. I remember mother told me the name of the woman was Beatrice. And she lifted the panga to cut the head of Beatrice. And Beatrice was like, no, give me a minute. Then she spit the umbilical cord. Just from, I don't know if she had swallowed or it was hidden in the mouth. But even that happened and passed, I was having a problem with my stomach ever since I was born, until I attained my adult age of 18 years. I could really feel like all was not well with me. But something funny happened. When we were in church, my church at home, the pastor singled me among thousands of people. And I received the prayers. That was the time the stomach problem ended. Otherwise, I could scream every
Somebody
hour.
Put
and
your
then.
hands for Jesus. When he has done it, the nations must know.
So immediately I was healed. Then mother was showing me that woman walking around. You see that woman? It is the woman I told you the story about. Immediately I was healed, the woman died. Beatrice died when I was in primary school. So later, when I reached the circumcision age, I got circumcised. And a week later, when I had started healing, I discovered myself like I was not circumcised. Just a week, 7 days later, I was again in the previous state I was. I told my father, no, something is wrong with me. It's like I was not circumcised. So I was taken again to hospital. That happened 3 times. Again, it passed. When I joined the high school, lightning attempted to strike me 3 times. One just in broad daylight, I'm walking at 12 noon. The lightning I saw, I almost fell down. And I ran to the neighborhood near the road, nikamuuliza, what have you heard? Akasema mimi sijasikia kitu chochote. Nikamwambia hujasikia vile hiyo radi imepasuka? Akaniambia mimi sijaona kitu chochote. Nikaacha kwenda hiyo safari, nikarudi nyumbani. Nikamuomba Mungu, nikasema no. This is like it's going beyond. A week later, walking with my friends again, lightning struck bitterly until I smelled that smell of fire. And I asked my friends, what have you smelled apart from the thunderstorm. They said no, sisi tumeona tu mwale wa waradi. Hiyo ikaenda hivyo. Ikarudi tena. And then lastly, imekuja kama nimekuwa tu mkubwa nafanya kazi. It has been last year. One of my uncle, just my late father's brother, came to my working place and had wanted my help. So I gave him the help he wanted. And when he was leaving, he asked me a question that always really disturbs my mind. And he has always asked me that question. Are you married? The problem is that I don't stay at home. So I left home when I was unmarried. I married when I was away from home. I have a family. And he repeated that question 3 times when I was seeing him off the compound. And then I was like, no, uncle, what is your intention? What's the question all about? Why do you want to know whether I'm married or not? And he saw I was offended. I said, oh, as a parent, I'm just happy if I hear you. And I told him, no, you also have sons and daughters. Do you always keep on asking them the same question? He said, I'm sorry. He left. After he left, some few clouds came within 15 minutes. Just clouds from nowhere. 3 p.m. The lightning that struck, until one of my colleagues told me, mvua imekosa mahali. Then I wondered, why this? So, I went back to church and I told the pastor, no, pastor, this is like, it is turning out to be more than enough. We had serious prayers and the pastor instructed me to fast. I had to fast for 7 days. Later on, I lost my brother. When I lost my brother died in a circumstance of 2 days. Somebody complaining of headache, 2 days and he dies. And there is no diagnosis that shows even malaria, maybe a sign of whatever. No. It's just that he died. I really mourned my brother. And during that funeral, one uncle, brother to my father, was murmuring among the mourners. Now look at how this son is mourning the brother. He doesn't know that he's the next victim. And my uncle, who said is a senior pastor, and several informations came from the people among, said, be careful na ule uncle yako pastor. Ameambia watu kadhaa wewe ndiye next. That has been 2023. I don't know, but I went down and I read Isaiah. I was happy some hours ago when the pastor was talking about Isaiah 54:17. That no weapon formed against you shall prosper. I read that book and I cried on my bosom and I told God, no, we were born 9, now we are remaining 4. Out of the 4, 2 are total drunkards. I have my sister who is on presidential parade, Kenya Air Force. But the way she drinks, I'm always crying to God. I remember when President Daniel Moi died, my sister was standing at the coffin. There were 2 soldiers. But you don't know whether she's a soldier. So I told God, no. I will not die until I accomplish the dream you have for me. It has been the month of March before I came to Eldoret. That uncle who told me that I would be the next victim lost a son, a very mature son, 27 years of age. And people were like, the same people he told when we were in the funeral, they were like, kumbe yeye pia anaweza kufiwa. And I told them, no, the work of God cannot be compromised. And I just told my God, I will still walk around and I will declare your message. Therefore, I want to encourage each one of you who is here that God reigns. God is faithful. Ever since 1988, 23rd of September, at 3 a.m. morning, now it is years. Those who wanted to get away with my life are no longer. The 34 years I have now, I can stand to give a testimony. And I'm always saying, if you have bad intentions about the child of your colleague, withdraw from today. God will lengthen the life of that son or daughter of someone, and God may reduce the days of your sons and daughters. And the same Bible says, if you scold a widow and an orphan, that God will take away even your husbands, and you will also tomorrow be called a widow. Therefore, my testimony is long, but I want to make it a summary. God reigns. I had always admired working